Okay, so hello everybody, thank you for coming. Welcome to today's yoga class. My name's Nick and I'll be your teacher. Today we're going to be having a look at exploring different postures on the yoga mat. So in order to do that, if you'd like to make sure you're sitting comfortably, if anybody has any injuries, please feel free to let me know and I can offer you modifications. And if you're feeling pain at any time, please stop. Discomfort is fine, pain is not. So listen to your own body. Yoga's not a competitive sport. Work with your body, listen to your body, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Okay? So, starting off by closing our eyes and just taking some nice deep breaths. So breathing in for the count of 3. In, 1, 2, 3, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, and inhale and exhale. And now continue with the breathing and I'll explain a little bit more about today's class. So the spine is part of the body that's often equated to character. And if we're talking about somebody having a weak character, we might say they have no backbone. And while this is true, and it's good to have a strong character, sometimes life can be very challenging, like 2020, and we find ourselves in uncomfortable positions. And we're going to have a look at how maybe we can work on being more flexible within our character in order to cope with these difficult situations today. So we're just going to explore, not telling ourselves I can or can't do that, but just trying. Going into different new positions maybe, and just breathing through and seeing how we feel, trying things a different way, and seeing if we're more flexible than perhaps we thought we were. It's amazing how far you can bend before you break. So, on your next exhale, taking our chin down to our chest. Inhale, chin back up, and leaning back a little if you want to. And inhale back to center. Exhale, turning your head to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turning your head to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, taking your right ear down to your right shoulder, getting that stretch along the left side of the neck. Inhale back to center. And exhale your left ear down to your left shoulder, again getting the stretch down the right side, and inhaling back to center. Now we're going to interlock our hands, and breathing in, palms facing up, take the hands up to the sky, and on an exhale we're going to lean over to the right side. Again, explore, can you go further? Do you need to lean forward to get the stretch in your back? What feels good for you and your body? And inhaling, coming back up to the center. And exhaling, we're going to go down to the other side, warming that spine up. Again, you can lean forwards if you need to. You can open up backwards if you'd like to. Just stretching out and breathing in, coming back up to center. And we're going to do the same thing, breathing out, going down to the right side. See if you can go maybe a little bit further than you did before. Does that feel good for you? Does that feel bad? Explore how your body wants to move. And inhaling back up. And exhaling down to the left side. Feel free to move around. There's no right or wrong here. You're working with your own body. And inhale back up to center. And exhale, releasing the arms down and hands down in front of you. And we're going to come up into a flat back position, and we're going to warm our spines up a little bit more with the cat and cow pose. So exhaling, rounding the spine, getting a beautiful stretch all the way from the neck down to the tailbone, and looking at your stomach. And then inhaling, coming back up, looking forwards, pulling your chest through, opening the front of the body. And exhale, coming back down, stretching out the back of the body. And feel free again, explore the posture. Feel free to twist to the sides. Feel free to move around and get all of the stretches that feel good for your back. And then inhaling, coming back up into a cow pose. And again, feel free to have a look around to your feet maybe. How does that feel in your back? And in front of your body. And in a couple more breaths, just exploring the pose for yourself in your own time. Maybe you'll just swing your hips or really move, rock forwards or backwards, whatever feels good for your body. Seeing where your spine wants to go. And then coming back to a neutral spine. And now, tucking our toes underneath, we're going to lift our tailbone up into our first downward facing dog. Now keeping your knees bent nice and deeply here for the beginning as we warm up. Just start to straighten one leg and then the other. So you're walking through the dog. And then as these movements become more comfortable, we have a nice warm room here. Feel free to start exaggerating that movement through your spine. So you're twisting and maybe looking under your arms as you bend the opposite leg. So bend your left leg, look under the right arm and the other way. Again, exploring the posture, what feels good for your body. How far can you twist? How much further forward do you want to come or further back? Just exploring what your body wants to do, listening to your own muscles. And keep breathing. And when you're ready, hopping or stepping forwards into a forward fold. Again, you can bend your knees here. If you want to, you can use a block. If your hands are more comfortable on the blocks, that's fine. If you want to bend your legs deeper, that's fine. Again, exploring the pose, maybe twisting, looking from side to side to get that back nice and stretched out. And then inhaling, coming up into a Tadasana, mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Now in your mountain pose, just making sure our feet are nice and grounded on the floor. You can have your feet hip width apart, you can have them a little bit wider if that's better for you, or you can have your legs together. It's entirely up to you. Listen to your body. Explore, try all three and see which works for you. And then just rolling through the feet, maybe going over to the side, side to side, rocking, feeling the edges. Again, exploring what your body can do and finding your own centre of balance. You can rock forwards and backwards. And then when you found your most stable position, releasing the hands down. And we're going to be putting our weight into our right leg and just bending the left leg, nice and gently. And we're going to roll it round a little bit. And now we're going to come into tree pose. You can choose whether to put your foot still on the floor to help support you by your ankle, to put it on your shin, or if you want to, you can come with me and lift your foot all the way up. The only thing I would say is try to avoid having this foot on the knee because that can cause problems with the knee joint. So if it's not comfortable to come all the way up, then come on the shin or stay down on the floor, whichever works best for you. Also, if you want to step off the mat, that will give you more stability being on the flat floor, particularly for you, Alex, because you've got a really thick mat, so it might be easier to stand just on the tiles to help with the security if you're looking forward, that's fine. So, choosing your tree pose wherever it works for you. So again, ankle, shin, or thigh, just not knee. Bringing our hands in. And in an inhale, we're going to lift up. And to help with your balance, if you focus on one spot on the floor in front of you, And now as we exhale, we're going to release our arms out and we're going to come over towards our leg very gently, but just allow yourself to just blow with the wind like a palm tree by the sea. And just where feels good for your body. Explore, maybe you can go deeper, maybe not really need to come out. Just work with your body, feel free to move in the posture and trust your own body. It's not about what I'm doing. Excellent. And then coming back up. And then exhale, just releasing down. And just shake it out. Now we're going to see what our body can do on the other side. So, again, putting the weight into your left leg when it's nice and stable. And just lifting the right leg a little bit. And choosing ankle, shin, or coming all the way up. I'm going all the way up because I find it easier to balance this way when I'm doing tree. Okay, so inhale, arms coming up. And on exhale, we're just going to release over towards our bent knee. Again, play with the pose. It's okay if you come out and then come back in. Breathing in, breathing out, just working with your own body. You might be surprised how flexible your spine actually is. And breathing in and coming back up. And exhale, release. Again, shake it out. So now, breathing in. Arms up, with a nice little baby back bend, lifting the chest up nice and high. And exhale, coming down into a forward fold. Breathing in, come up to halfway, flat back. And again, exhale, coming back down. And now on an inhale, if you want to step or hop back to a downward facing dog. So again, in your dog, just take a moment to move into the dog and find where your body wants to be. Lifting the tailbone up to the sky, creating the space across the shoulders, rolling the tops of the arms in. So you've got that lovely stretch across the top of the shoulders. And inhaling, coming forward to plank. And we're going to exhale, knees if you'd like to, chin and chest down into chaturanga, keeping the elbows nice and close. And now we're going to release, and we're going to have a little look at Sphinx pose. So, if you want to bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and keep your abdominals and your pelvis on the mat. Okay, so here we have our basic Sphinx pose. Again, you're going to work on the flexibility of your spine. So, placing our hands flat on the mat, we're just going to use the elbows to pull the chest forward. Trying not to round the shoulders, keeping the shoulders nice back and open and down, away from the ears, and then just pulling the chest through. So you're stretching out the front of the body, you can feel the tension in the back and the top of the spine, you can feel the muscles. And if that's easy for you and you want a little bit more, then just press into the hands and straighten the arms. Try it. If it's not for you, go back down. And if that's fine, you want a little bit more, then feel free to just walk your hands back. And again, explore it. If it's not comfortable or if it feels painful, then just come back down. Work on what feels good for your spine. Okay. And then releasing down. And we're going to put the hands under the shoulders and coming back into child's pose. Taking our left arm and threading it under the right arm. So we had a lovely twist, releasing all of that work we just did in the spine. And release and come over to the other side. And it might be that you have your tailbone up really high. It might be that you have your bottom back towards your feet. Again, explore what works for you in this pose. And coming back up, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. And inhale to plank. And we're going to come back down into chaturanga. Again, if you want to, you can lower your knees first, keeping the elbows in, lowering down. And now we can lie down. Now I'm going to go this way so that you can all see. So lying on your stomach, what I'd like you to do is lay your arms out in front of you. So you're flat on the mat. And now we're going to take the left arm, leaving it out, and we're going to take the right arm under the shoulder. Okay? And just gently using that arm, just roll over onto your left side. And feel free to help you balance to bend your left leg. Just to give you your underneath leg. So your bottom leg on the mat, feel free to just bend that leg. And then we're going to take our top leg and we're going to hold it from the underneath with the hand. If you go underneath the foot, yeah, excellent. And now we're going to lean back. If you want to, again, explore what works for you to give you the best back bend. You can put your arm out to the front if that's better for you. You can prop your head up on your arm if that works for you, or you can leave your arm out. But just getting a really nice back bend. And see how deep you can go. If you want to roll back over on your stomach, you can. If you want to go further back, you can. Just play with the pose. You can't fall over. Excellent. And release, coming back onto our stomach. And now rolling over to the other side. And bending the bottom leg. And taking hold of the top leg underneath. And lifting that leg to get that lovely stretch across the top of the spine. And just bending the back. Keep breathing nice and steady. Again, listen to your body and go with what works for you. Just explore the pose and the different varieties. And exhale, release. And now, from our stomach, we're going to bend both of our legs. And we're going to reach back and take hold of our feet, if we can. Is everybody? Yeah, excellent. Okay. So now, on an inhale, we're just going to see if we can lift up our legs a little bit, and then lift the chest as well. And with your breath, just work with it. If you need to come down, come down. If you come up, come up. And just breathe, roll through the pose. Maybe you want to flex your feet or point your feet to get higher up. And release. Coming into crocodile pose, putting the arms out, bent in front of you, and your legs out straight behind you with your insides of your feet touching the floor. And just rest. And turning your head the other way. Allow the body to just rest and relax. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a child's pose. And now coming back onto the hands and knees. If you want to cross your legs and roll over your feet, and then come down into Savasana, corpse pose, lying down on the mat. Really big. Okay, so finding a position that's comfortable for you. So legs out straight, that's so interesting. Okay, so release your hands onto the mat, away from the body. And just lifting up both of your legs just a little bit, and then relax them down onto the mat. Wherever they fall, that's fine. And lifting your arms and release them onto the mat. And just scanning through your body, your feet, your legs, your thighs, your hips. Just check to see you're not holding on. Release your abdomen, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Check there's no tension. And relax your jawbone and your mouth. Let your tongue fall. If your mouth's open, that's fine. Check you're not holding on. Your eyes, your forehead, and just relax. And think about all of the flexibility that your spine just showed in that practice. And how when you find yourself in an uncomfortable position, if you keep breathing, you can come through it and it will make you stronger. Gently bringing your awareness back into the room, into your body. Taking a nice, deep, energizing breath to revitalize your cells. Maybe you begin to feel a tingling in your fingers and your toes. Maybe you want to start making some small movements in your hands, your feet. Maybe you want to take a nice deep in-breath and stretch your full body out along the mat. And then when you're ready, bringing your feet to the mat and gently rolling over onto your right side. And just rest here for a minute. And then gently bringing yourself up to seated. And a nice comfortable seated position. If you want to take some cushions or roll your mat up, feel free. And to finish off, we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling, arms up. And exhale. Namaste.
Namaste.